Okay, so next up is Red Rose, or that sounds weird, and I'll say it in my accent. So I'll say Red Rose. Next up is Red Rose. I'd heard an advert on the radio last year for Red Rose, and it was all very gloomy, like new horror on BBC, Red Rose. Tune in now if you dare, you know, that kind of thing. My instant reaction was, that's going to be shit. But fuck yes, similar to the Sandman. I thought it was going to be crap. I tuned in and fell in love with it, basically, and binged the whole lot. Red Rose's concept is brilliant. I love just absolutely anything that blends basic everyday tools, you know, like your mobile phone or a laptop, and programs like Skype and other online platforms with horror. Movies in the past have been that incorporate those kind of things are Unfriended, Countdown, the app that tells you when you're going to die, and the girl has to try and it's a race against time basically to save herself. Brilliant one. It's a spectacular film called Searching, probably about 4 years ago now, about this guy's missing daughter. But the entire thing is set on a laptop screen as if you're watching it, you know, all unfold on camera. That was excellent. And Spree, Joe Keery's film, kind of a bit like that. Friend Request, really tacky. So was the sequel, but still. I mean, yeah, those kind of things, I love them. They expand beyond trolling, you know, when an actual machine takes over. And yeah, Red Rose, yeah, it wins hands down. The actual thing, so the premise is the app is accessed via a link that's passed on from someone else via text message. No normal person would click it, but yeah, when one of these naive teenagers does, the app opens and it snaps a photo of them. It then glorifies it so they get a proper glow up and makes them look amazing, and then takes control of their life, which results in it results in sheer splendor, sheer torment, and possibly death. It's all very warming. So yeah, the app kind of masks itself, Red Rose, as a genie type, I will grant you 3 wishes kind of thing. One character at the beginning, she downloads it and she's like, oh, I really want a ball gown for the dance at school, and the new Nike trainers that are out, you know, that kind of thing. You wouldn't, you'd wish for more, wouldn't you? But next morning, lo and behold, there's the ball gown and the Nike trainers just hanging on the washing line. The app delivers, but not without consequences. So yeah, as the series progresses, it becomes and as more and more people download Red Rose and meet often grisly ends, a group of teenagers try to get to the bottom of who exactly is behind the app, and how the fuck they're going to stop them. And this is where it becomes interesting. So skip forward here if you, let's say 1 to 2 minutes, if you don't want any spoilers. So I think my main thing, what I really like about it, is it cuts out any supernatural element. It's so, as spooky and sort of and dark as Red Rose is, it's very ghostly, like yeah, there's something spiritual going on, but it's not at all. So yeah, as though it's mad. It transpires that there's a reclusive group of people, each sat in front of their home computer screen, sort of literally controlling each person's outcome. And yeah, it's clever. There's no supernatural element here. It's all happening at the hands of very sort of high-tech whiz, clever people who basically, how they manipulate everything. So the app grants wishes and you'd think, wow, that's amazing. But it's not. They cleverly like tap into local CCTV so they can see the user, as well as hacking their phone. So they they've got them in a cage, basically. They know what they're doing when, it's kind of like, oh, Ren, you didn't reply to me. I can see you by the post box, eating a bag of chips. Why didn't you reply to me? And yeah, but they can access all online information about the characters as well. And they manage to, it's proper creepy. They manage to extract, sort of download and edit the voice of like people who have died. So it sounds like they're actually calling. They wire through to a victim's mobile phone, and it sounds like the dead person's calling them. It's horrible. Oh my god! I mean, honestly, I was sat binging this, and I was like, the more I wanted to dislike the fact that it was this like, stroppy teen angst type thing, the more I was just liking it as it went along. The tech whizzes, they come together only online for some reason. It must have been filmed during COVID. They come together to observe their sort of human puppets, and even place bets on the outcomes of certain situations. It's like Hostel meets PC World or something. It's bonkers. So yeah, there's no supernatural element. Wow, that took a while to describe, but I really wanted to, lay that bit on the line. Yeah. So performances, Jesus Christ, spectacular, award-winning, and they're beyond. These kids are fucking talented, basically. Do you know what? No matter what type of TV show it is, you can always count on Northerners to deliver like an authentic, convincing performance. I mean, I lived up north once, and I mean, the job market of the area of the north I lived in was so fucking appalling. I wouldn't be surprised if all the local kids where I lived, like, just sort of fired their all into drama school so that they could, get on telly and get the fuck out. Seriously, I've seen a few BBC shows recently that are star-studded, but this is top of your league performances. It really is. Red Rose, the adult to kid ratio of casting is decent, especially given that the adult generation are on exactly the same level as the kids. The parents are real strong leads. Great to see Emma Fryer again from Phone Shop. And yeah, Amelia Clarkson and Isis Hainsworth, have to give them a shout out, who play Ren and Rochelle. Oh, fucking hell, they are absolute bulldozers. They storm this thing with passion and an emotion. There are tears and strops and rage, and there's this whole sort of like face off. There's friendship angst going on. There's trying to fit in with their peers and things. The second they appeared on screen, I saw their sort of teen image and was like, oh god, it's going to be one of. Shut myself up. It wasn't one of those. They had me hooked. Seriously, these girls just smashed it out of the park. A scene towards the very end of the series is intense as well, where one of them is it involves there's a kidnapping, and she goes into this building to rescue someone. I was fucking gripped. Brilliant. Right, let me get on quickly. So Ashna Raberu, I think you pronounce it, as Jaya, I think you pronounce that, is divine. She's the she's the whiz kid geek of the group. She's quite an outsider, but the group of teenagers who are trying to find out what the fuck Red Rose is and why it's taking control of people, they sort of welcome her in, and in the end she becomes one of them. And she's got a very distinguished look about her. She plays like this very lonely, sort of downtrodden character, but also has this streak in her of proper, like, she knows what the fuck she's doing. It's great. And yeah, she plays it with infectious talent that just hooked me. Very believable performance. And she's everybody's hero in the end. She's excellent. Natalie Blair, who plays Ashley, is fucking hilarious. She really is. Fucking hell. That is her phrase. perhaps I shouldn't have been laughing at her exclaims of fucking hell. But literally every few minutes, she's like, fucking hell. Like, you can guarantee she's going to say it. It's like a comic relief. And she had me rolling, honestly. It happens. Oh God, there's a dead character's voice starts coming out of one of the other characters' phone towards the end of an episode, and they're all sat on the bed, and in one of their houses, and they're all like, so the girl who's talking through the phone, she's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna fucking get you. I'm coming for you. And like all the kids are like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my. And then camera like pans out. She turns around, she's like, oh fucking hell. It's like I fucking loved her. I really did. She's comic relief and very much appreciated throughout. Yeah, so it's quite, I suppose in a way she's dripping with sarcasm. Yeah, she's great. I was having a ball through this. I really was. So yeah, it blends, it's like almost sci-fi, but it's very clever how it blends like fiction with non-fiction. So you've got the real aspects of, you know, kids being obsessed with their mobile phones and downloading apps, but then you've got this whole, you know, taking control of people, that this sinister story. The two just like collide, they come together and just concoct this addictive binge-worthy series. I suppose, right, negatives. I did jot down a couple of negatives. One thing I was confused about is one of the first girl in the entire thing who downloads the app. She sent the link to Red Rose by a random classmate, and it's that obviously launches all the horror. But like as the drama unfolds, it's like, well, you know, and the subsequent search for who's behind the app, nobody seems to question the girl, like the initial girl who sent the text message to the first girl, if that makes complete sense. It's one of those. So it's a bit like, well, what the fuck are you looking over there for when it was that girl in your class that sent the first girl the link and sent her off the fucking rails? So yeah, there's not much of that. Not once do the group think who actually originally sent Rosh, the first character, the link to Red Rose. Someone must have pushed her to download the app. Unfortunately, it's never questioned. It's annoying. It's not relevant, I don't suppose, but there's a party scene where a shitload of school kids, they come round, they gate crash one of the characters' houses when his parents are out, and they have a rave basically. So they're all jumping around, smashing shit up. None of the lead characters do anything about it. Even the guy whose parents' house it is, even he just sort of cowers in the kitchen by the microwave. He's like, oh, fucking hell. I asked them not to fucking come. What are they doing here? And like, and it's just really, you know, those like fucking really annoying bits that just shouldn't be there. Yeah, it's like that. So yeah, he stands in the kitchen cowering. One of the other lead characters goes around like collecting up. I don't know what she's doing. She's like tidying up. She's tidying up as the place is being smashed up, and she's like going around grabbing like, I don't know, a vase or a special plate, and she's like, oh fucking hell, you can guess which one that one is, can't you? She's like going, oh fucking hell, like she's trying to scavenge the valuables. It was just, yeah, it was just basically, guys, just get up on the fucking kitchen counter and ask him all to fucking leave. Do you know what I mean? If you're that pissed off with it, fuck's sake. So yeah, considering they're knee deep in a murder investigation at the time, I was gobsmacked at how they didn't have the smarts to just get up and say, right, fuck off. But hey, it's one of them. Right, there are some truly, I think another negative would be there are some truly unconvincing bits. So there was me sitting on the sofa watching it, thinking, look, you fuck's sake, you wouldn't do that. Sorry, side note, apologies for the fucking. Sorry, during this review, because it's yeah, it's my expression of phrase, but it's also there's a lot of fucking in the program. Christ, that sounds wrong. There's a lot of the use of the word fuck. Yeah, so there's some tacky, unconvincing bits, but overall, the entire concept of Red Rose certainly makes up for it. I could feel the people behind Red Rose as I watched it, as scenes of like sadness played out at a teenager's funeral. The emotions like on the actors' faces, gripping like chase scenes through the city and confrontations, the buzz of like having wishes granted, the threat of an unknown presence sort of barking orders, and the deadly result of not following them. I honestly, the writers, I'll give them a shout out. It's Michael and Paul Clarkson, whoever they are. Yeah, I could sense them scribbling their ideas down, approaching producers, handing them this thing. The scores a bullseye, the series gets commissioned, then embarking on the sort of talent casting and things. I honestly, again, I swear the kids are fresh out of drama school. They are fucking brilliant. Oh, there's a fucking again, sorry. So yeah, I could sense the passion and the enthusiasm that went into this. I really could. Sometimes a basic idea falls flat on its ass and leaves the viewer sort of, empty and bemused. There's nothing there, or me even speaking on my behalf. Yeah, sort of. There's not much there. It has the potential, but it doesn't make it. Red Rose, however, scores a fucking bullseye, and it refreshes the teen horror genre amazingly well. It's a perfect blend of like horror and intrigue, and it forms a base. It's that forms the base for this relatable story. And when I say, I mean, kids practically living on their mobile phones and downloading apps of all sorts of shite. It incorporates in online abuse and trolling at the same time, and mixes that as well with genuine emotions of family life and peer pressure, relationships with your college friends. I think they're off to college during the program. Yeah, so ultimately becoming a fictitious horror with a very strong non-fictitious underlayer, if that makes sense. It brings it all together, realistic and non-realistic, basically. And the kids are fucking amazing. They really are brilliant. I binged Red Rose, and I genuinely looked forward to every episode. So I'm trying to hold off doing the northern accent because it's going to ruin my review if I carry on like it. But yeah, although they're quite a young cast, yeah, their talents, come together and serve up a fucking fright fest that again contributes towards the enormity and the emotion of it. It's brilliant. It combines evil intention with the fascination of apps and online presence, stuff like that. So yeah, and it's also filmed in Bolton. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything filmed in Bolton ever, I don't think. But yeah, it certainly put it on the map. I'm sure people across the pond are sort of thinking, where the fuck is Bolton? That kind of thing. But yeah, yeah, it's great that they've set it in a real sort of. I have to be fucking careful here when how I describe Bolton. Yeah, it's not somewhere you go on holiday, basically. So, yeah, it's a good use of set location. It's great. The set, the cast, the talent, the messages, the horror, the emotions, the intrigue, and the sort of desperation threaded throughout make Red Rose one of the best things. It's just behind The Sandman as one of the best things I've watched in TV in years. I honestly, I was so surprised I liked it. And yeah, I'll close here by saying the opening credits. Oh, they're lovely. They're kind of weird. They're glossy. You got this iPhone and a sort of, it looks like it's made out of plasticine, like a rose, sort of sprouts up from the screen of the iPhone, and like a lightning bolt, like a ominous lightning bolt, just strikes it, and it's yeah, it's all right. For fuck's sake, I'll give up. I'll give up. But that's your lot. That's your lot for my talent today. Yeah, the opening credits. It, it's just weird. It's extremely basic, but it really does work. Finishing here, I can't believe how long I've rattled on about this, but I really liked Red Rose, and I'm sure you will too. Yeah, that's it. Uh, that was Red Rose, and yes, I've included everything. Thanks for watching.